Once again, welcome to Own Us podcast, the voice of the incarcerated. I'm your host, BG Ali, and of course, you know, my co-host is the Black Sheep. Before we begin the show, I just want to leave, you guys with a thought. We live in a time of grace, and the Bible said, I know, a lot of people is not religious or whatever the case may be, but I do believe we really do live in a time of grace. And it was once said, when they was finna stone this prostitute for her wrongdoings, all the mess ups and F's ups and every kind of person on earth was stone her. But they said, let him without sin cast the first stone.
This is dedicated to the niggas that was down from day one.
Once again, it's on up in this motherfucker, yo. 666 motherfucking bounty, straight gon' luck from that doubly my joke. Bout nigga don't even trip, though. He's dedicated to all the motherfuckers on my Disney from day one. Peak game. I like to say what's up to that nigga J Disney. You know what I'm saying? That's my little baby brother, yo.
Sicx, welcome back.
What's going on with you, man? How you doing?
Oh man, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I heard feedback that, you felt a little bit ambushed by our program. But this program is basically, for the voice for the incarcerated. And I know that you'll be returning home soon. And, it was a lot of feedback. You had positive and negative feedback. I want to address you with the questions that was asked. Are you willing to answer them? And those that you don't want to answer, you tell, our viewers that you'll get back on it. Because some people just gonna be them, and it is what it is. So
yeah, I'm pretty open for most things. If it's something that I need to think about, so I don't want to just give some impulsive answer. If it's something that I need to think about, I'll just say that.
Okay.
But pretty much just go ahead and give me what you got.
All right. So we had one dude. He called himself at Donkey Kong Sicx. He said, "I really wish the best for Sicx. Yeah, he was into some fucked up shit, and most people are going to think the worst, but he seems genuine. Hopefully he gets out and drops more music." What's your response to that?
Well, my response to that is another comment that was made that my wife seen on your page, and I appreciate it. Look, for me, I don't see it as negative or positive, comments. I see it all as positive because it gives me a chance to address. So I'm going to answer that with another comment. So apparently another comment was made, which I totally respect. He says that it's crazy that Sicx thinks he's going to have it's crazy that Sicx thinks he's going to have a career. And it's crazy that, I'm paraphrasing, this is crazy that, no one's going to pretty much, rock with a pedophile. I mean, no one's going to support him. And you know what? He's right. Who he or she or whatever, it is crazy to think that I can just come out and have a career.
Why is that crazy
to think?
Why is that crazy?
Let me finish. So it is crazy that I would just assume that people want to still hear my music, which they do. I just got off the phone earlier with somebody from Washington, and these tablets are a blessing, man, and they really connect and say, "Hey, Sicx, I'm still waiting on music." But back to your question, what's crazier though? And Ali, I'm not trying to sound super spiritual, but this is just real. What's crazier is what Jesus did for me. And I'm always going to go back to that. I spent most of my life making music that was sick, that was satanic, and things of that nature. God gave me these gifts. And so whatever else I can do for the rest of my life is going to honor him. So what's crazier was what Jesus did for me. What's crazier is that God wants to use my story to reflect his glory. So on one hand, I can appreciate people saying, who do he think he is? No one's going to support him. That's not up to me. I'm just going to honor God, be obedient to God, make the music that I need, and put it out there and put it in his hands and let him do what he wants to do with it. If I turn around and I stop doing what I'm doing just because man has a problem with that, then I'm not much of a man. And it's not to say I don't appreciate the situation. It's not to say that I'm done. But Ali, truthfully, man, I should have been gone off this earth a long time ago, even before I became a monster. That's just the life I was living before. But I heard something the other day. Somebody says, if you have a pulse, you have a purpose. And God keeps giving me a pulse every day by waking me up. So I'm going to go out and make this music for his glory, say the things that I have to say, and put it in his hands. And whatever God chooses to do with that, that's his business. I can't argue with my Heavenly Father. I can't say, well, God, people don't want this or people don't want that. But truthfully, there's a lot of people that are still checking for my music. And that's even humbling for me. I feel grateful that people still want to hear my story. So I don't know if that answers your question, but for people just to think that I'm just going to come out and just stop doing what I'm doing, they might be disappointed. I don't want to offend them, and I give my apologies to the people that I've hurt, whether it's my daughters directly, whether it's my family directly, or whether it's people in the communities. I mean that sincerely, and I am genuine. I don't know how to be fake. I've never been fake.
Okay, so
and I heard that go ahead.
Sorry for the disruption. So my thing is always like this, man. This podcast is on us, and I'm gonna repeat that repetitively and how many times it take. All things are in man. I already initiate that, and some men act them out. As I say, like with no ambush, you know, we call impetuous acts. Whatever you felt, whatever you did, that was in that moment. All men have the same mentality to do certain things, but it's some men that don't act it out. Okay. However, when you're dealing with the Bible, all animals, all things were created in man, and God used the most.
Hold on 1 second. Appreciate you having me back, man. So the views that you got on your podcast, is that the number that you usually kind of get from the different podcast interviews you do?
Everything is predicated on what the world is interested in. And
okay,
I believe that it's a portion of what we call in these day and time, it's more gossip and BS to me. And they get the most views because people are into the most darkest BS that's on the planet today. But then when we're dealing with realistic or real life events, controversial is always gonna be like, first thing in place. Like people like, oh man, you have to do it. Damn right. First off, you can't open up a bakery and a gay couple want a cake and you don't serve them because of your belief system or what you feel. That's not business. When we say the voice of the incarcerated, we're dealing with everything that has a voice that want to be heard. And I was a fan. I liked your music. I listened to it. Y'all was at that time. You, SIBO, X-rated, and everything. And I wasn't up on, the depths of the case. But I knew it had to do with a certain thing. And then here I get the opportunity to have an interview with you, and I'm non-biased, meaning like I don't take sides because that's not fruitful for the interview. Now I will say, like, you know, if that was mine, how I would feel about a certain thing, but I'm not taking sides. This opportunity is for you to address the world that you will be living in. But it's so many people that have far short of the glory of God in the same essence of your case, and these people are still in Hollywood. These people are still doing a lot of things, and it's under the rug. Us as a black unit, as a black community, as well as the thug community, we had these high standards of certain things to where people pick and choose how they want to dress or who they fuck with or whatever the case may be. But this is not a hidden story like you, Jesus, died for the sins of men. This thing going on for years. So I'm saying address the public on how you truly feel without feeling ambushed. Because I can have my position. That's my position.
Yeah.
Abdullah's position is his position. But that don't have nothing to do with opportunity. We setting an opportunity. We setting a stage for a person to be like, I did that. I'm remorseful. I regret certain things, or I can't put your forgiveness in your heart or whatever the case may be. I'm just saying this is your opportunity to address these issues. You get what I'm saying? And you address them boldly. Don't feel nothing about what comes from it. Everything that we do as men, as we do as women, is going to be criticized one way or the other. You up for scrutiny regardless.
Yeah, no, I get that. And I've been there. Even before I did the things that I did, you know, it comes with the territory. So I'm not shying away from that. But it is important for me, because of my relationship with Jesus, to keep a humble heart and to make sure, because some people say, hey, Sicx, sometimes you come across too aggressive or too indifferent. And it's not that I'm indifferent at all. I know the people that I've hurt. But like you say, some people some people in the world, like, do you really care about the people that I've hurt? Or do you just want to pick sides and judge? You know, I don't have time to entertain people's feelings and emotions because they feel some kind of way, one way or the other. But at the same time, I know that I do have the opportunity, and my main opportunity isn't to address what I've done. My main opportunity for me is to say God's love is real. What Jesus did on the cross was real. Because, Ali, look, there was once a time when alcoholism and drug addiction was frowned upon. But now they look at it differently now, as far as the programs they have. They refer to it as a disease and things of that nature. Once upon a time in our society, mental health issues was frowned upon, especially in prison. I'm sure you looked at that. Yes. But now it's seen in a different light. I mean, people are understanding more and getting the right help and the right programs. You know, people are having people encourage them to come out more and speak about mental health issues. It's the same with this. This thing that I've done, my molestation, like you said, it's been going on from the beginning of time. And I'm sure everybody in somebody's family has a situation that they've been through. They might not want to admit it, but put it on tape like that. See, my situation is different because I'm Sicx. I got put on blast, and that's what God does. Exactly. He puts sin on blast. Exactly. But everybody else gets to hide out. But other people who might have these kind of situations similar, who aren't known, you know, they just get to kind of slide out and do their thing, do their time, or whatever. Help, you know, I'm getting educated. I don't know everything, but I got my degrees. And social behavior sciences. You know, I'm taking some drug and alcohol courses, and I'm taking some classes that have to do with my situation. So I'm just trying to get educated. And first and foremost, sin is the reason why I did what I did. But as far as the psychology level of it, I'm just educating myself so people can be educated on what would make a person do the things that I've done.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, all those listeners, top of the day, I'm Abdullah, your co-host, the Black Sheep. We got BG Ali. We want to thank Brother Sicx for coming on the show and giving us a preview of the things in which that he wanted to clarify. I want to give a brief synopsis of on my take on that. I didn't mean no disrespect. Me and the brother Sicx had a conversation in reference to his case, and he asked me a question about do we support or do we condone other crimes? And I told him no, because he felt as though that we were ambushing or we were picking on his particular type of case, right? Even though his type of case is seen in prison can be deemed as one of the most heinous when it comes to the criminal mentality or inmates per se, because of the nature of the crime. So he felt as though that he was being picked on, and that's how I perceived it. No, it wasn't the issue of picking on him. Islam doesn't promote or condone criminal behavior. So when I explained to him that to kill one person in humanity is to kill all of humanity, so we don't condone murder. We don't condone taking nobody's property. We don't condone burglarizing nobody. We don't condone rape. We don't condone nothing. You know what I mean? It is from an Islamic perspective, period. As a human being, I can't condone any of that. Why? Because I don't want you taking nothing from me. I don't want you robbing me. I don't want you stealing. I don't want to do any of that, right? Whether I'm in prison or whether I'm out there. And these are the things I had to learn as a result of my incarceration. When I was on the streets, I had no value. So in the sense that as I came and learned how to become a better human being and be a better man, I learned to have a sense of regard for others as well, because this is what human beings do. So the way he felt, and I understand the way he felt, because it can be perceived like that, especially when you're hypersensitive to the nature of your own crime. So no, I don't condone any other kind of crime, whether it's murder, again, whether it's rape, whether it's robbery, whether it's burglarizing, whether it's mayhem, whether it's whatever it is. You know what I mean? We do not condone. This is where On Us stand. On Us is a voice in incarcerated for those who are being positive, meaning adding something not only to their lives, but to the lives of other individuals as they try to grow and try to be a better person and try to be a better human beings, whether it's man or woman, or whether it's cisgender or whatever you choose to identify yourself as. You know what I mean? We want to be able to provide you with the opportunity and the space to be able to talk about those things and to come to terms with who you are as a person and as a human being. So again, with that, I leave as I came. I'm through the Black Sheep, BG Ali, always with love, brother.
We can't depart this part of the program without sending a shout out to @netlove4632, for she stated, "This was an informative session, although a lot is left to the imagination, understandably. Taking responsibility is an important step to realizing the impact of our actions. Our actions can happen in a moment, but impact the victim for a lifetime. For me, redemption is a lifelong process that will be manifested in how you live your life on a daily after the fact. Every day, every hour, every second for the rest of your life, you are an example of redemption. Remember that, and no matter how God may bless you, stay humble and never forget your history so that you never repeat your devastation from your path. Move forward, reflect back, cross the street when you see obstacles in your path. Please know that I personally don't condone low vibration behavior. We are human beings stripped of our humanity, and that comes with a lot." Well stated.